Hi, this is a read aloud for Should Schools Be Year Round? It's another debate article or opinion article or problem solution article. We're practicing these so that we can write our own opinion article when we return. Many students say that June is the best time of year. In most places, schools let out as summer begins. Some students don't spend summers at home or at camp, though. They are in school instead. That's because they go to year round schools. Students in some year round schools go to school the same number of days as students in regular schools, but they get mini breaks throughout the year instead of one big long summer vacation. The mini breaks are a few weeks long. For example, students at some year round schools often get a few weeks off at Thanksgiving instead of just a few days. More and more schools are becoming year round places of learning. The National Association for Year Round Education states that the number of students in year round schools has tripled in the last 10 years. By 2001, there were about 3,000 year round schools. Could your school be next? Would you want your school to be year round? Read the arguments that follow and then you can decide. We have a yes, school should be year round, and we probably have an absolutely no way. No, school should not be year round. It's a short article. I will read it. Please, as you're listening, be open minded because your opinion may be different than the opposite viewpoints. Year-round schools are better than regular schools. Students in year-round schools have more breaks. They get to enjoy time off in every season. Year-round schools allow families to plan vacations in times other than summer. Students in year-round schools are less likely to have to miss school for a trip. Frequent breaks are good for students. They have less stress when they go back to school. After a break, they become more eager to learn. One student said, I love it. Just about the time I'm really tired, I get a break. Breaks also give teachers time to plan better lessons. Teachers in regular school are so busy teaching that they have less time to plan lessons for their classes. Students in year-round schools tend to remember what they learned. This is a true fact. If you have 3 months off, you forget a lot of what you learned. Your brain kind of goes dormant in that time if you're not continuing to learn. That's because their breaks aren't too long. Teachers don't have to spend time going over things that students have forgotten over the summer. All schools should be year-round. That is one opinion. The other opinion says no schools should be year-round. Year-round schools are a bad idea. Summer is a great season. Students should be able to enjoy their summers. Most families plan vacations over the summer. Year-round schools restrict family vacations. They also don't allow students to go away to camp or take on summer jobs or earn money for the future. Too many breaks disrupt learning. The breaks allow teachers to focus on a topic for only a few weeks. During mini breaks, students are away from school long enough to forget what they learned. In regular schools, lessons are not broken up by frequent breaks. Teachers can spend more time on one topic. Teachers also don't have to plan around as many breaks. Summer can also be very hot. Many schools don't have air conditioning. How can students learn in a hot classroom? Christopher Newland is a researcher at Auburn University, says that year-round schools do not help students learn. Newland said, the evidence is that it would be as useful as changing the color of the school bus. So not very useful. Regular schools work just fine. There's no need to change to year-round schools. Think about your opinion and why. Being a teacher, my opinion is going to be a little bit different. But just remembering that I also get my summers off when you do. So my opinion is a little bit torn. We have questions, I believe, 1 through 10. According to the passage, why might students have trouble learning in school during the summer? Many students would rather be at the beach. Other schools do not have air conditioning. Many schools do not have air conditioning, and it is too hot to learn. Year-round schools make students more tired than schools with longer summer breaks. Many students are more likely to daydream when the weather outside is hot. So choose the correct answer. They did state that in the reading. How does the author organize the information in the passage? They didn't just spit out everybody's random answer, and that's important when you get to write your essay. The author describes the problem and several possible solutions. The author just defined several different terms. The author describes an argument and then presents evidence to support both sides. The author gives evidence to support his opinion, but ignores other opinions. This is so important. I'm going to pull this up later when we go to write. You want to know what the argument is, and you want to share evidence for both sides. You don't want to be one-sided. Read this statement. Students feel like they need frequent breaks. Which piece of evidence from the text supports this statement? The information from the National Association for Year-Round Education, the quote from the student, the quote from the researcher, or the information about air conditioners. In the beginning, frequent breaks are good for students. They have less stress. After a break, they become more eager to learn, one student said. So they used evidence from a student. It can be inferred, so they don't say it, but you could assume so, or take from what they're saying and make your own thought. Students do not read during breaks. Teachers do not teach well enough during the school session. Teachers can get better at teaching during breaks, or students do not remember material after breaks. So they did talk on this. Who knows if students read or don't read? Teachers do teach well all the time. Teachers can get better at teaching during the breaks. You're not teaching during the breaks, so that doesn't even make sense. But we could assume that students do not remember material after breaks. So whether you have breaks throughout the year or breaks after summer vacation, your brain's going to be a little bit off schedule. This passage is mostly about reasons why year-round schools are and are not a good idea, reasons why all schools should be year-round, reasons why 9-month schools should be longer, reasons why teachers would prefer to teach in year-round schools. Only one of these answers is correct. Please choose the correct answer. Read the sentences from the introduction. Is your school year-round? If not, would you want it to be? Read the argument that follows. In these sentences, the author is summarizing his arguments, stating his opinion, and supporting it with evidence, speaking directly to the reader to increase the interest. He's asking you a question. Are you interested? Creating a mood of anger within the passage. What do you think the option would be for number 6? I'm actually going to write number 6 right there. Oh, it's up here at the top. Choose the answer that best completes the sentence below. Students at a year-round school might get several weeks off at Thanksgiving because a year-round schedule includes mini breaks. However, a year-round schedule includes mini breaks, but or although a year-round schedule includes mini breaks throughout the year rather than one long summer break. So please read the sentence again. Students at a year-round school might get several weeks off at Thanksgiving. A year-round schedule includes mini breaks throughout the year rather than one long break. Which would you put in there? What evidence is presented in the text to show that year-round schools are becoming more popular? They gave you numbers and they gave you percentages of schools. So we have to go back into our article and find that. They did say the National Association for Year-Round Education, about 3,000 year-round schools. They didn't give a specific percentage, but they said they are becoming more schools have tripled in the last 10 years. So you can put those two data in there. Number 9 asks you summarize 5 arguments for more year-round, the 5 arguments. So summarize what they talked about here. Tell me the main idea. The paper was about if schools should be year-round. One argument said yes, one argument said no. You can give me some more detail. So write that to the best of your ability. It should be 2 to 3 sentences, maybe 4. The author suggests that the decision about school schedules affects multiple groups of people. List the groups of people and describe why this decision may affect each group. If you give me 2, that would be great. If you want to say it affects my grandma, because I spend my summer vacation with my grandma, then you can do that. If you say it's going to affect my dog because I'm going to have too many breaks during the school year and my dog's going to miss me, then you can put that. But give me 2 people that would affect and a reason why. So that is all you have to do. We will work on this together in Zoom. Our answers, write it down, and you're going to submit your answers when we return next week. Thanks.